And the conversation.
That's fair.
Even I will say that's a downfall, but even so, still love Canada. Great place.
I mean,
peaceful.
They were smart enough to get rid of him.
True.
Yeah.
True. They made it our problem, so touche.
Yeah.
For every Bieber that you get coming out, it's not the people. For every Bieber you get coming out of Canada, you get a Gretzky / Alanis Morissette.
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Ryan
Back in the
Reynolds
90s, they made a movie just recently because of her.
Another one?
Rush.
No, well, they mocked it, basically. It's like a 21 Jump Street, but
Okay.
Pam. She was found off of Teletron. Teletron.
I thought you meant
Blue Jays game.
I thought she made another movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a sports reference for you.
Yeah. Yeah, the Blue Jays.
We're just talking about exports of Canada, though.
Exports of Canada.
Yeah.
No,
All right, so, but yes, this rule seemed to come back to bite them. It seemed to be a little bit of possibly karma, but I don't think you can have this kind of rule in the Stanley Cup, and it's the first game and it already took a goal away.
I didn't know. First off, I didn't know the rule existed until this. So
It's new.
Clearly. But, I mean, I've never seen it actually implemented. I mean, I don't watch a lot of regular season hockey, so I guess that's on my fault that I haven't seen it implemented. But especially when it happened, because that was the first goal of the game, that changes the entire momentum swing of the game, especially if Nashville can get out, score that early goal. Does Pittsburgh score those three?
Yeah, I think it absolutely changed the momentum because I think the Predators kind of got deflated a little bit. Not to go back to football.
That's why Bill Belichick should have run for president. He understands the biggest threat to national security is inflation.
Okay.
Yeah. Good one.
So then the Penguins capitalized. They scored 3 goals in the first, and that was a third of their shots, I think, or a fourth of their shots.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know when you're down 3-0 in hockey, there's no coming back from that. It's like when you're up 28-3 in football. There's no coming back.
It's hard to come back, but I think that's another thing to look at as a positive if you do want the Predators to win. They were put in a situation where they're 3-0 down after the first period, yet still showed the resiliency to at least come back and tie it up. And 5-3 is,
one was
you
an
see
empty
that,
net.
but that was completely bogus.
Yeah.
It was a clear off the glass that happened to bounce in like that.
Yeah.
I don't count that. That was just a nail in the coffin with a minute.
Well, I think that also
Right.
that
Well,
the momentum would go in Pittsburgh's favor in the fact that they do have the experience in the playoffs and the Stanley Cup, and they were at home. But at the same time, it's like they're the defending champions. They know how to play this game. They know how to take advantage of the momentum. And Nashville had a learning lesson last night. Maybe just by not taking, by Penguins taking the momentum, the Nashville's going to realize that they have to step up their game. That they are going
they
to
can't let that just pull away from them so much.
No, absolutely not. And it's the Penguins have had great experience. If they haven't even made the Stanley Cup, they'd make the Eastern Conference championship and not make it or whatnot. They're timed like the Patriots. They're timed and poised and prepared for situations like this. In Nashville, this is new for. So they have to kind of learn the curve pretty quickly, and they could definitely compete. Like you were saying, they're big, they're fast. They can if they can figure out the advantages, they can take this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's trying to be first repeat champs since '98 or something.
Oh, I don't know.
It's been almost 20 years. So.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time they were back-to-back Stanley Cup winners.
I have no idea. But
Probably a Canadian team.
probably a Canadian team.
I think it was the Devils back in the 90s.
That's an ungodly team.
Yeah.
So Canadian ungodly, same thing. Same thing.
All damned.
Exactly.
I mean, if anything, I think if you watch the game last night, it sets the tone, and it looks like it's going to be a good series. I mean, we can't really. I mean, as not a major hockey fan, I can't really ask for more than that.
Right.
They know they can control it, and as you said, they clawed their way back.
This isn't going to be a rollover. This is going
to be a 7-game series.
With the Predators coming in the way they were. Nobody would have seen them at the Stanley Cup Finals, and then if you said they were going to go up against the Penguins, I don't think many people would have thought it would have been a series.
There's not many people that thought the Penguins were going to get past Washington.
Yeah, that's true. But
but history says there's no reason that they won't.
Right.
Yeah, no.
True.
Yeah,
If
Washington get on
Washington can
paper.
get past the second round. Then.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys see the funniest story coming out of all of this? A guy...
Yeah, I already know what you're talking about.
A guy took a catfish and vacuum sealed it, stuck it in his compression shorts, and smuggled it into the game, and then threw it on the ice and got arrested.
Yes, that's a tradition for Predators games, is to throw a catfish on the ice. The city of Pittsburgh, I think, or at least like the major fisheries, were not selling catfish. So he had to import it from
Nashville.
That guy brought a catfish with him, and apparently it's frowned upon because he was charged with all kinds of nonsense.
3 counts of something
trumped up
charges.
Something it was having to do with having a weapon because they considered the catfish a weapon.
Have you seen his whiskers? Those are whips.
Yeah, intent to do harm.
I mean,
Have you been bit by a catfish?
No.
It's not pleasant.
Okay.
So maybe they thought it was live.
I am so deathly afraid of fish, it's not funny.
Really?
If you had a fish sitting on that table, I would be in the hospital right now.
Now, do you eat fish at all?
No, I do not.
Not at all.
No, fish are friends, not food.
I think,
Okay.
well, you're not friends with them, so I think that's how you conquer your fears. Just eat the suckers.
I also don't like the way mercury tastes, so.
Fish is
Avoid
delicious.
tuna.
More fish for you.
That's
You're
right. That's right.
You and your lobster rolls.
Yeah, I think
Yo.
if he gets charged guilty for all the counts, he's like facing 6 years in prison or
Oh,
something.
that's ridiculous. I imagine he's got to knock
For some
something like
sushi that got thrown
Yeah,
onto
give him
the
a
ice?
little bit like community service, you know.
Ban him from the Oracle, or not the Oracle,
wherever the Penguins play.
I
Yeah.
mean, why does everyone have to get so uptight about things like this? It's like he went through the extraordinary effort to basically have a bit of fun.
to
But
You
smuggle
got
a
security.
fish.
But
you
also,
know,
that
and
being
everything.
said, who is this guy? Where's he from? Like, is he ever going to be in Pittsburgh again? Does he really care if they ban him from the arena?
Well,
Right.
that's the thing.
Well,
Like,
he might want to see, game 2 or.
Well, I mean, I guess you're SOL on that one. But you
Okay,
also
well,
can say you did it.
well, here, how about this? A $500 fine. You're banned from the arena. Go back to Nashville.
I don't think any of this works. I feel like
Just
it's
make him do some
tradition to
community
throw things on
service.
the ice in
It's
hockey.
in
Yes.
Nashville, it's tradition to
No,
throw
it's
the
tradition
No,
in
it's-
hockey to throw
I'm talking about
things
the
on ice.
catfish.
Oh, the
Well,
catfish
in Detroit-
specifically.
Well,
In
there's
Detroit, it's
octopus.
It's the
octopus.
octopus.
But at the same time, it's like you're getting they're going to throw hats on the ice if someone has a hat trick, either side, and it's
Do they
like
even let you do that anymore? I don't know. It's becoming
I
like
think
the
people still
NFL
do.
is trying to shut down fun, and I think
exactly
I
that's
think
what I'm
things like
saying.
this, give them a little slap on the wrist. Don't charge them with these crazy things. And
Yeah,
The
I mean,
fans
make
don't
them
get
face
to
actual
feel
jail.
like they are
But I'm sure, like the
Represented.
even involved. He's definitely involved now,
I'm
but
sure
I
the
mean,
DA in Pittsburgh is not gonna try and.
Oh,
I
hopefully
should-
he's not a Penguins fan.
Okay, so here's what we're
Well,
going to
if the
do.
Predators win, then he'll face a lot worse
Yeah,
charges.
you better
than
hope
if-
they hurry up.
Than if the Penguins do.
Dan Tony Sports is begging and pleading if this guy gets jail time. If you're going to do nothing else, please, President Trump, pardon him.
I don't think he's
And Carrie Fisher called him her hero, and she's married to Predators captain Mike Fisher.
That's ironic.
Yeah, I was gonna say very great name choice there.
Yeah, right. For the captain and throwing fish on the ice now.
I will never go to a Nashville Predators game.
But I mean,
Never.
it is still kind of ridiculous. You think about
I
three
mean, are you
different
gonna be near
charges.
the ice?
you would think
I
that you
you're
would have a
fine.
bigger problem with like animal cruelty like activists than
Well, I mean, the
police
fish is-
saying what they're going to give him for throwing a catfish
I
onto
mean,
the
the
ice.
fish is dead.
I understand that, and I'm not,
He's
but
just-
The
it's
thing
still
is,
representation
maybe
of
it shouldn't have been done during the middle of the or what was it, the beginning of the first? It was like 16 minutes
Yeah.
left.
You're just trying to give someone dinner.
right?
Yeah, but I mean,
He
the
kept
same
it on
thing-
ice.
What if he
Okay.
what if he threw it when they tied the game? Would it be totally different at this point, or would he get more charges?
I don't know.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
there are so many different things. If it hit a player, that's like assault with a weapon.
Yeah.
Whether we agree it's a weapon or not, if it hits someone, it then becomes a weapon.
Yeah, but I think he's right too. But like, say in the third period, they tie the score and he throws the catfish. I think that's taken in a different context than maybe when he threw it then, and the punishment would have been probably drastically different.
Could have been.
Maybe.
Certainly could have. I mean, trespassing, if you get onto the field and go running across it, that's what you get in most scenarios, is trespassing. They usually kick you out of the stadium. I mean, but it's just trespassing.
I mean, if you're naked, it's different.
Yeah, if you're naked.
Well, that's
if
indecent
you're naked,
exposure.
Yeah,
That's a
you
whole
did-
other
you did a
crime
lot
you just
worse.
I remember that Philly fan getting chased and getting the stun gun right in the center field. I remember that. That was great.
I love when they're able to dodge and weave a little bit
Yeah.
and avoid the security.
During the AFC Championship game, when the Ravens beat the year the Ravens beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, Ray Lewis laid a sucker out.
Yes.
Yeah, I always like
That was
saying
a
that.
glorious hit.
Those
That's
are
always
always
fun.
great.
That was a glorious hit.
I mean, it's kind of a ridiculous thing to be talking after game one, though. I mean, that
Yeah.
we're talking about this guy getting arrested for throwing a fish on the ice.
Mhm.
After what was a really good game.
It was.
I mean, the result wasn't good, but I mean, the game itself, if you're looking for entertainment value, it was there.
After what was a really good fish.
Well,
Right?
12 shots on goal. Rin probably should have saved at least one of those. I think the first goal was like
JD Colarusso.
an easy, should have been an easy save, and he just kind of let it skid past him.
Like
I mean,
JD
that being said,
Colarusso.
he still
Right.
played a good game thereafter. I mean, four goal. Well, I guess technically 5 goals on 12 shots, because we know that last one wasn't a shot. But
Wait, did that
I mean,
count?
that's a
Did
terrible
that count
save
as a
percentage
shot?
for a goalie.
well, yeah, you'd think that is a terrible save percentage, but I mean, it says something to Nashville right there if they can hold him to 12. If Pecorini can play like he did in the other series where he was getting bombarded with shots, if he can get to that statistic and he can limit the shots that Pittsburgh's putting on,
I think he's going to be able to block more. Pittsburgh, of course, probably the best offense, and the Predators probably the best defense, and that's what makes the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's what makes it interesting. And as we said, it's definitely going to be a 7-game series. I still give the edge to the Penguins just because of their experience and that little extra game on home ice.
Yeah, and I mean, they've already won one, so they've only got to win 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that does help. I'm rooting for Nashville in 7.
I'm still
certainly rooting for Nashville. I just logically think that the Penguins are going to take it, unfortunately.
I'm still holding out hope that with this new rule where they can go back and change things, that they're like, oh, wait a second, nope, Senators win.
Yeah, I don't think that's how the rule works.
Remember,
Upward.
going back to the NFL really quickly, do you remember there was an April Fool's joke that happened after a 49ers-Giants NFC Championship game, and after the Super Bowl was over?
They said the fumble didn't count.
Yeah, so they're going to go back and replay it with the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no. Although that's kind of similar to this rule in hockey. I just don't understand how... Like, I can understand replay. I'm all for it, but I just don't understand replay after the play was allowed to continue.
Yeah, I completely agree. That is stupid.
Seems like a crazy
we're gonna,
rule.
Yeah, and it's not like it was. It's not like he was shooting in the act of shooting, and it's close. And like in the NFL, if something happens, illegal formation, and you score a touchdown, well, that's in the act of the play. It's coming back.
Right.
This is not in the act of the play.
No, it's not. And with offsides like that, I feel like it's got to be called at the game time situation, because that changes everything. Especially if the pass is made down. Who cares? People are getting set on defense and offense. Is it really the way that he got the puck? It didn't look like there was that much advantage to him being offsides with the little sliver of ice that he was.
Yeah.
But rules are rules.
That's the rule. Mm-hmm. I think it needs to just be called
Immediately.
right, or the ref needs to put up the delayed offsides hand and not have it go back to review for it to be called offsides.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix that. I'm just kind of amazed it's even a rule.
Yeah. Well, I can feel we're all getting a little testy talking about hockey. So what do you say we switch it up a little bit now and go to the other sport that we're talking about tonight, basketball?
Sounds good with me.
All right, so before we get